Good day, and welcome to the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. So, in this episode, I wanted to talk briefly about my experience with COVID 19. And I wanted to make this video just kind of really for the historical record. And I would envision 2 decades from now as the next generation is looking back on this, maybe my grandchildren, they would want to, as they study this in school about the historical record in terms of COVID, uh, they can hear actual stories about what occurred. And for me, the COVID experience really started with my oldest son. I remember it was a Sunday night, and he got a really bad headache where he needed to kind of lay down and just sit in the dark for a bit. And a few days later, he ended up getting tested, and because of the nature of the work that he does, and he ended up testing positive. And then within this time frame, another member of my family ended up getting sick as well, just kind of a mild fever and um, persistent cough, and that person tested positive as well. And within those first incidents where those two started getting sick, a few days later, I ended up getting sick as well. And my experience was the headache. That was the one really unique thing about it that I would say that is outside the realm of what I would say normal sickness for me, was the rather intense headache that I got. And then obviously I had a little bit of a cough, or rather persistent cough at times, and some shortness of breath, getting winded, kind of going up my stairs. That would occur, and then the I felt wiped out. That was the best way I could describe it. Is just there was times where I just really had like zero energy. And this lasted for about 2 weeks. I think the headache lasted for a few days, and that for me the headache was the worst part of it, because I don't get very many headaches, and that was what was worse for me. And then obviously the shortness of breath every now and then was a little weird, because I don't normally get that either. And yeah, for 2 weeks I experienced those kind of symptoms, and I maybe had a little bit of anxiety over having it, and then yeah, I eventually recovered, and everyone in my family who got it recovered. I think my son probably had the least amount of symptoms, and didn't really experience anything except like a headache the first night. But for me, I would define it as mild to medium symptoms. I would say that I experienced pneumonia when I was younger, and that was definitely worse. Now I understand, COVID can turn into pneumonia, and that didn't happen to me. But when I did have pneumonia, the fever was much more intense. But I recovered, and I sit here talking to you now. Now, I know that's not the case in all the situations. Some people have no symptoms, some people have mild symptoms, and some people, it makes them leave this earth. And I did have a coworker who came down with it and was admitted to hospital, and some complications arose, and unfortunately, he did pass away. But that's my experience in terms of COVID 19, and just thought I would share that. Thanks, everybody.